Hi, in this video I want to talk about the best language learning tools. And this is based on my experience of about 3 months being obsessed with learning Turkish and French, and to a lesser degree Spanish. So I've tried all kinds of apps and tools and everything, and I think I can give people an idea about what works, what doesn't, or at least what seems most promising. So apps that I'm going to mention are the ones that found useful to some degree, but I'll make a quick mention of ones that I felt weren't that useful, which were Duolingo, because it just doesn't really explain anything, and Memrise and Optiling, which also I felt didn't provide enough explanation for things that didn't really feel like they were comprehensive in any way. The apps that I'm still using, which find some use, which I think are pretty useful, are Glassica. This one, it's really good because it gives you a listening practice and potentially speaking practice, and it's all about phrases. It gives you phrases with high frequency words. You listen to them, you're supposed to repeat them, or at least acknowledge whether you were able to tell what was said. Another app is Speakly. It has a grammar section. It gives you words that are high frequency. Only issue is that the languages are limited. For instance, for me, it didn't have Turkish. Link, this is a really cool app where you can read stories. They have various mini stories at a beginner level, and you can go through, read the story, listen to the audio, follow along, and you can indicate which words you didn't understand, which words you understood, and keeps track of that. And that way you can learn new vocabulary through exposure, basically. Anki, this is a flashcard program. It's really good for building your vocabulary really fast. You might want to look for shared decks that have the top high frequency words and use that. Linguist, this is essentially just sort of a glorified flashcard app, but it gives you phrases and high frequency words, but the languages are limited. There's Drops, which is just a really cool gamified program for an app for teaching you new words. And then there is Language Transfer, which is just a free online course. You can find all their videos on YouTube, and it's really good for giving you the grammar structure. And I would say honorable mention for Babbel. I just didn't end up using it much because by the time I got to it, I had already covered a lot of things that it covers. But it provides a combination of teaching you new words and actually giving you exercises for the grammar. If I were to recommend a general approach for someone tackling a new language, I would say do the language transfer course for your language, assuming it has one. I know it has one for common languages like Spanish and French. And I mean, I used it for French and Turkish. And that can give you the basis in grammar. But then you can use an app like Glassica to make sure you get a lot of reps involving listening and practicing your listening, essentially, possibly speaking, although that's optional. And use Anki and flashcards to build your vocabulary really fast. And then I would say try to immerse yourself in the content. Try to at least train your ears to hear the sounds of the language you're learning, which you can do just by watching YouTube videos and Netflix videos. But you can use a Chrome extension called Learning with Netflix. I might have the name slightly, Language Learning with Netflix. It works for Netflix and YouTube. And that will allow you to show captions in two languages. So like your native language, let's say English, and the target language, let's say French. And that can help you pick up new words, as well as maybe train your ear and your listening. So yeah, I'll just keep it at that. The apps I mentioned, which I found to some degree useful, once again, are Glassica, Speakly, Link, Anki, Linguist, Drops, and Language Transfer. And then there was the Chrome extension, Language Learning with Netflix. And that is that.